Okay, and we are back, and this is House on Haunted Hill, and I'm scared.
Somebody just walked in on John Goodman in the can.
Now she's reacting to John Goodman having said, "I'm gonna be a while."
Sounds like someone just cracked up Homer Simpson.
Wow, majestic cinematography, huh?
Hey, throwing a human head at us right off the bat.
The ghosts are moving tonight, restless, hungry.
Little gassy.
May I introduce myself? I'm Watson Pritchard.
Retired leprechaun.
In just a minute, I'll show you the only really haunted house in the world.
It's haunted by squatting hobos.
Since it was built a century ago, 7 people, including my brother, have been murdered in it.
He knows because he murdered them.
Since then, I've owned the house. I've only spent one night there, and when they found me in the morning, I was almost dead.
As you can see, I'm still almost dead. Hello?
Whoa, now they're just tossing Salvador Dali's head at us.
I'm Frederick Lauren,
Hello, Dolly.
and I've rented the house on Haunted Hill tonight so that my wife can give a party. A haunted house party. She's so amusing.
And by that, I mean I hate
There'll be
her.
food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited.
Except Daryl. He broke one of my
If any of you will
Xbox
spend
controllers
the next
last
12
time.
hours in this house, I'll give you each $10,000. Or your next of kin in case you don't survive. Ah, but here come our other guests.
Right after my head is re-ensmallened. There you go.
It was my wife's idea to have our guests come in funeral cars.
I wanted them to come on Segways so I could point and yell,
So
"Nerds!"
Her sense of humor is, shall we say, original. I dreamed of the hearse. It's empty now, but after a night in the house on Haunted Hill, who knows?
And whose idea was it to have them drive 4 miles an
This
hour?
is Lance Schroeder, a test pilot, so no doubt a brave man. But don't you think you can be much braver if you're paid for it?
Well, that's true of the
And I
food
happen
tester
to
for
know that
Arby's.
Lance needs the $10,000 I'll give him, if he's brave enough to stay all night. This is Ruth Bridges. You've no doubt read her column in the newspaper.
Writes under the name Dan
She says
Savage.
her reason for coming to the party is to write a feature article on ghosts. She's also desperate for money. Gambles.
Cockfights, mostly.
You've already met Watson Pritchard, a man living in mortal fear of a house, and yet he is risking his life to spend another night here. I wonder why.
His apartment is being bug
He
bombed.
says for money. This is Dr. David Trent, a psychiatrist. He claims that my ghost will help his work on hysteria. But don't you see a little touch of greed there? Around the mouth and eyes?
Oh, that? No, sorry, that's mustard.
This is Nora Manning.
His eyes.
I picked her from the thousands of people who work for
He was
me
eating in
because
the
she
dark.
needed the $10,000 more than most. Supports her whole family. Isn't she pretty?
In a plane, if there's absolutely no one else available way, sure.
The party's starting now, and you have
Yay.
until midnight to find the house on Haunted Hill.
I don't need till midnight. It's right there, if I'm not mistaken.
There's even a title over it.
Easy to find.
Yeah, I'd say it's right there. That one where all the cars are pulling up to. Could have made this just a little harder, Vincent.
I just brought a gym bag full of jock straps. I hope that's all I'll need.
The women both brought their ventriloquist dummies. That could cause a little conflict.
This is similar to the time I had to stay the whole night in my cousin's filthy apartment without gagging. I accidentally saw his laundry hamper and, well, I didn't make it.
Probably shouldn't have slept there.
Gated slumber parties.
You know, this is back when millionaires knew how to spend their money. Now they just throw it away on Senate campaigns. Julie Mitchum, Robert's sister.
Kevin.
Thank you. I guess the original owner said, I want my house to be squat, ugly, with hideous windows. Oh, and can you cover it with paving stones?
Oh, and please, bar the windows. I really want to capture that hopeless inner-city school look.
Ah, a nightmarish walking corpse. Oh, wait, that's just Julie Mitchum there.
Hey, look, at least we're gonna get continuity. More than you can say for an Ed Wood film.
Ah, yes, the mean streets of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Or maybe it's Waukegan. I get them mixed up.
Both very mean streets,
Mean.
though.
Okay, guys, I just ran the numbers and thought you'd be interested to know that the $10,000 offer would be $60,788.66 today if adjusted for inflation. So in case you were wondering, it would be entirely possible to spend a night in the haunted house, use the reward money to purchase the Kansas City Royals, and still have enough money for the hearse ride home.
This is what I like to do when I first meet people. Kind of wander around them vacantly, not saying anything. People love it.
The hilarious wipe your paws doormat seems a touch out of place.
Huh, well, I don't know about ghosts, but I'm guessing they'll all be done in by the hantavirus and poisonous mold spores in this dump.
You know, if the characters never speak to each other, it makes for a really short screenplay. Very easy to write. Professional tip there.
Well, where is everybody?
It isn't a very warm welcome, is it?
Only the ghosts in this house are glad we're here.
They made too much paella and were worried it would go to
Are we all
waste.
strangers to each other? Don't you two know each other?
I'm afraid I don't even know your name.
I'm Nora Manning.
Lance Schroeder.
Of the East Haunted Hill
He's friend before and a
Schroeders?
friend of yours.
I've heard of him, but I've never met him.
I work for one of his companies, but I've never seen him.
I've never met the man either. Just a phone call. Do you know him?
Anonymous truck stop sex. I mean, I don't think
Then you're
so.
the only one of us who does.
I don't know him. All the details about running the house were done by mail.
He's quite wealthy, isn't he?
Millions.
And 5 wives, I believe.
4, I think, so far.
A $50,000 party for only 5 people is a little steep, even for a millionaire.
$50,000 potty? That is steep for a crapper.
Well, if I were going to haunt anybody, this would certainly be the house I'd do it in.
And this would be the hill I'd do it on.
Who closed the door?
They have a very large, well-trained cat.
This thing's made of solid steel.
Oh yeah, I've tried that old chandelier's gonna fall on you, you better let me take off your bra routine too. It never worked.
Rarely comes up.
No.
Folks, if you do get a Vincent Price in your own home, don't panic. Just call animal control and they'll remove him. They have a large, humane trap that they use just for him, and they release him up into the Hollywood Hills.
They even give him a dish of water.
Honey, where are the pork rinds?
Annabelle. Our guests are here, unfortunately still alive. Is your face on yet?
Wow, her face, but not her shirt,
Dirt
apparently.
everywhere, and the water barely trickles.
Couldn't you have had the place cleaned?
Atmosphere, darling. You know how ghosts are. They never tidy up. And that's a very fetching outfit, but hardly suitable for a party.
I'm not going to the party.
I am the
Spend
party.
the night ghost party was your idea, remember? Since it's going to cost me $50,000, I want you to have fun.
The party was my idea until you invited all the guests. Why all these strangers? Why none of our friends?
Because our friends have better
Friends?
things to do on Yom
Do we have
Kippur.
any friends?
No, your jealousy took care of that.
I had a reason for inviting each guest. I wanted kind of a cross-section. From psychiatrist to typist, and from drunk to jet pilot.
Which is one guy.
Share one thing. They all need money. Now let's see if they're brave enough to earn it.
By helping me move a
And you call this
couch.
a party?
Could be.
Depends on whether those nuts from Signa Nu bring their beer bong.
Why do you always do that? It spoils the champagne.
It might explode.
Never does.
Remind you of anything, dear?
Could you guarantee that?
That isn't funny, Frederick.
Make a good headline. Playboy kills wife with champagne cork.
Or how about wife rams champagne bottle up
Will you join
Playboy's...
me?
No, thank you.
Just a sip might improve your humor.
My humor is fine, thanks. And I haven't poisoned it.
The vessel with the pestle, that
Always
is.
good to know that.
Though this being Bud American Ale, it hardly makes a difference.
Have some. You'll enjoy the party more.
Allow me to serve it to your breasts.
Go on.
Well, I usually like my alcohol served in a Jell-O cube skewered with a toothpick, but okay.
Your trust is so touching. And I'm not going to the party.
Of all my wives, you're the least agreeable.
But still alive.
Would you go away for $1 million, tax-free?
That's the world's standing offer
What
to
at
Andy
all?
Dick.
I deserve
Take it,
all.
man.
Come on, you're never going to get a better
Jealousy isn't
offer.
tax-free. And your possessiveness is maddening.
And your CD collection is mostly the
Never
Dave
ran
Matthews
grounds for
Band.
divorce.
But can't prove them.
The time will come. You'll slip up one of these days,
Think so?
if I live long enough. You remember the fun we had when you poisoned me?
I'm always saying that to my own wife.
Something you ate, the doctor said.
Yes. Arsenic on the rock.
I regret ordering that.
Annabelle.
It's a special
You'd
at
do it again if you
Bennigan's.
thought you could get away with it, wouldn't you?
Darling, what makes you think that?
Something about you.
Now I'm going to help myself to that mushroom casserole you made me.
The hanging is very uncomfortable, in case you get any more ideas.
All right, have to go heat up my crock-pot
Don't let the
meatballs.
ghosts and the ghouls disturb you, darling.
We'll wait,
Darling.
Kevin.
The only ghoul in the house is you.
And don't sit up all night thinking of ways to get rid of me. It makes wrinkles.
If you'll excuse me, I have to go change the oil in my hair, too.
Mobile 1.
The conditions are right for a 10-hour game of beer pong.
This is what she used on my brother and her sister. Hacked them to pieces. We found parts of the bodies all over the house. In places you wouldn't think.
Like in a cereal box?
Funny thing is the heads.
That's
have never
one,
been
yes.
found.
That's the first place I would
Hands,
think. Huh?
feet, things
Just
like
me,
that.
maybe.
But no heads.
The wife, probably in a rage, threatened her husband with a knife and then, carried away by hysteria, took a swing at him and simply went on from there.
She certainly went on. How many people did she kill, Mr. Pritchard?
Besides your brother, I mean.
Her husband and her sister. No one else
Brutally
was
murdered your
So
brother.
there
That's
are
great.
just floating around in here somewhere?
here. You can hear them at night. They whisper to each other and then cry.
But mostly they just rot.
Since our host isn't here, would anyone care to mix me a drink?
Certainly. What will you have?
Whatever it is, she'll have 10 of them.
Good evening.
Let's get crunk, bitches.
I'm your host, Frederick Lauren. Since we're all strangers to each other, let's get acquainted with a drink, shall we?
Mr. Lauren, I advise you to call this party off now. The ghosts are already moving, and that's a bad sign.
Let me apologize for my wife. She'll join us later. What do you have,
Scotch and.
Doctor?
I'll have the same.
Regular or poison?
Now, before the party begins, let's go over the details. The caretakers will leave at midnight, locking us in here until they come back in the morning. Once the door is locked, there's no way out.
Might as well hook up.
Windows have bars that a jail would be proud of, and the only door to the outside locks like a vault. There's no electricity, no phone, no one within miles, so no way to call for help.
Well, as long as there's scotch.
Like a coffin.
Yes, thank you, creepy leprechaun.
So if any of you decide not to stay for the party, you must let me know before midnight. Of course, if you leave, I shan't be able to pay you anything.
I'm interested in your reasons for this, party.
Are you aware of the letter
Besides
R?
pleasant company.
Party.
Ghosts, Doctor. I think everyone wonders what they would do if they saw a ghost.
Me, I'd stab my own eyes out to avoid having to look at
Now, my wife
Whoopi
has
Goldberg.
given us all the opportunity
You're
to find
thinking of the movie Ghost.
You mean Whoopi Goldberg is
Ghosts,
real?
et cetera,
Oh, my
being only
God.
creations of hysteria, your party
Chilling.
should be a success.
Well, Pritchard here promises us genuine ghosts.
7 now. Maybe more before morning.
That's cheerful.
4 men have been murdered in this house,
5 if you count me.
and 3 women.
You planned your party very well, Mr. Lauren. 4 of us are men, 3 are women. A ghost for everybody.
What, you mean the ghosts are gay?
Richard, why don't you take us on a tour through the house and let's see what happens. Huh?
And if you could do it without speaking, that'd be great.
Yeah, I figured she'd be the last to pull away from the drink table.
See that stain? blood.
This guy knows a lot about
A young
stains.
girl was killed here. And whatever got her wasn't human. Don't stand there.
What do you mean? Where?
Hershey's syrup.
Yeah, the attic is filled with sundae toppings. Every day at midnight, the ceiling starts leaking colored sprinkles and crushed Reese's Pieces.
It's too late. They've marked you.
Ridiculous. The roof probably leaks.
Oh, that must be what it is. Who would want to haunt me?
I would say any self-respecting male ghost.
Ew.
Well, Mr. Pritchard, you're the life of the party.
He hasn't even started yet. Wasn't there a man who threw his wife into a wine vat or something?
That was in the cellar. There's been a murder almost every place in this house.
Except the downstairs crapper. No one will go in that thing. Whoa.
It's the John Goodman problem.
Huh, wonder why Pritchard's career as a realtor never took off.
All this belonged to a Mr. Norton,
Really, you don't
who
say.
didn't die here. He was electrocuted later.
He tried to lick the crumbs from the bottom of his toaster.
Mr. Norton did a good deal of experimenting with wines. But his wife didn't think it was any good. So he filled the vat with acid and threw her in.
She said it tasted better than his
She was
wine.
supposed to stay down.
To the very end.
The bones killed her.
Giving him grief.
It's a funny thing.
Ziggy?
No.
None of the murders here were just ordinary. Just shooting or stabbing.
Or bludgeoning with a frozen
They've all
turkey.
been
It's ordinary.
so wild, violent, and different.
It's the first time Nora's ever stood on the edge of something.
You mean there's still acid in there?
I should probably call the acid abatement company, but I just never get around to it.
I always keep a good supply of frozen rats around.
Groping hand at the ready.
Destroys everything with hair and flesh.
So like Kirstie Alley?
Just leaves the bones.
Which you can then use to make a rich stock.
In this case, it left just a small dinosaur model.
My, it's dry and dusty down here.
Well, there's a cure for that upstairs. Come on.
A host who offers booze as a cure for everything can't be all that bad.
Ah, the old locker in the acid bath room trick.
How'd you get invited to this party?
Swing and a miss.
Go on. I mean, what'd he tell you?
He said watch out for the date rapey guy.
Mr. Lawrence said everybody'd get $10,000.
But he didn't say anything about being locked in.
No.
He just made a deal with me on the phone, but nothing about having to stay.
I think it was even on the can while I was talking to him. This is gross.
If I don't, I lose $10,000.
I'm going to stay too.
Right on top of you.
$10,000.
Yeah. You believe in ghosts?
I don't know.
Well, I agree with what that doc says. You can spook yourself. I've done it in planes. Seen things that weren't really there. Or were they?
Ah, date rape!
What are you going to do with your $10,000? If we get it.
What do you mean if we get it? Won't he pay us if we stay?
Ah, sure he will. 10,000 is no more to him than a nickel is to us.
Millionaires aren't known for
We were
being
in an
dishonest,
automobile
are they?
accident. Now I'm the only one in the family who can make any money.
No one was hurt. They just don't like working.
I've never seen so many doors.
Clumsy way to change the subject.
Closet?
Much like the one my cousin came out of last week by showing up to our family reunion dressed as Rosalind Russell. And to think I've been in more than one three-legged race with the guy. Ugh. Anyway, back to our story.
Bottles.
Much like the ones you'll run out to buy me while I watch the Phillies game after we're married, sweet cheeks. There's a good girl.
Look, you gonna go through the whole house like this? Because I'll go grab a sandwich.
Does it go anywhere?
You mean our relationship?
Lance! Lance!
I'm dying to know if there are more bottles in there.
Weird. Usually people who are in a basement by themselves screaming Lance are playing World of Warcraft.
And it usually comes out a little muffled, spoken, as it usually is, through a mouthful of pizzeria combos.
If you kids are gonna play in my basement, make dag-nab sure you don't go fussing with my watermelon rind pickles.
Yes, Grandma Roddy.
All right, I gotta go back to the dry goods store and get some castor oil for you young'uns. That'll cure you of some of the back sass I'm hearing around here.
Grandma Roddy. She's a treasure, isn't she?
Yeah, that's pretty much how all of Lance's dates end.
Party's really taking off in here.
Please, Lance is gone, and there's a ghost.
See what I mean?
Please, come on.
Did she say Lance is gone? Gone where?
She's only slightly panicked by the possibility that Nora meant to say the booze instead of Lance.
We'll have to break it down. It's locked.
And by locked, I mean open.
It was really dark and I fell and I hurt my kneecap.
Nothing that money won't cure. I must have bumped my head.
The only way you could bump your head in here is to run head on into the wall.
Oh yeah, that's what I did.
You didn't do that, did you?
A little.
Let's get a bandage on that.
Now let's get that girl on him right away. Oh, Lance.
I wonder why they didn't kill him.
Who?
He didn't bump his head. They hit him.
They?
Yeah, Count Chocula, Frankenberry, Booberry, the breakfast ghouls.
He hears the call of the ugly.
Meanwhile, in Mesopotamia...
Nora, when you came in, you said something about a ghost.
There was something.
What did it look like?
Well, it was wearing a black thing that went all the way to the floor.
Was it Justice
Weren't you a little
Scalia?
frightened at the time?
Well,
This
yes.
blue sky in there.
That, Mr. Loren, is hysteria.
But then, Doctor, how do you explain what happened to Lance? Was that hysteria, too?
No, that was idiocy.
You better get that checked in a day or so.
Thanks, Doc.
Lance gets so many head wounds from coming on to women, he doesn't even notice them anymore.
Wait for me in the hall.
When this is done, I'm moving to Mobile, Alabama. Huge leprechaun community down
Coming
there.
closer, Mr. Loren.
You really believe in your pet ghost, don't you, Pritchard?
Before the night's over, you will, too.
Would you like a drink, Lance?
No, thanks.
I'd like one. Scotch and.
Scotch and more scotch and scotch. The splash of scotch.
First 2 nights of Hanukkah
Are you
covered.
really going to pay anyone who stays all night?
Certainly. $10,000.
Will there be much red tape or delay?
In a hurry, dear?
Frankly, yes.
Scotch bills to pay.
There you are, my dear.
After that, you'll have to open the gallon box of Philip Scotch.
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 This guy's just convinced his elaborate basement scheme is going to help him score.
It was right about here that I took my pants off, so allow me to do that again.
I know something was in here when I came in. But where? And if the door was locked, how did it get out?
It unlocked the door?
You saw it might have been a ghost, Nora, but what was in here with me was no ghost.
I don't know. I was so scared.
I stop knowing things when I get scared.
I'd use a stud finder, but I'm afraid it would just detect me.
Does that sound different to you?
Yes.
But I'm scared and don't know things.
Just checking the walls, dear.
Basil.
3, 6, 9, 12.
Hey, we've got 12 feet of floor space to get it on.
Aha, yet another room I hit my head in.
3, 6. Now, I'm going to knock on the other wall. When you hear me, you knock on this wall.
Okay, but I'm scared, so I might forget how to knock.
Tap lower down.
And then do shave and a haircut.
Hey, Alice Cooper.
Just some old lady trying out her new rollerblades.
Get in a quick grope and then investigate.
Where'd it come from?
From in here.
Where you locked me in and forced me to knock on your stupid wall.
Well, if it ran out of here, I'd have seen it.
Lance, it doesn't run. It just floats.
Yeah, but
rolls.
Why didn't I see it?
You don't believe me.
Well, how can I?
I'm a test pilot and you're just a lady.
Well, looks as though Lance will not be test piloting her.
Nope. Grounded.
I'm Annabelle Lauren.
I'm scared, so I don't know who I am.
You must be Miss Manning. I realize this is a very unusual and I'm afraid very dull party. Wouldn't you like to freshen up?
She's somehow not fresh?
That's the implication.
I'll just show you to the freshening room, you unfresh person.
This is your room. Depressing, isn't it?
I doubt if I'll spend much time here.
It's going to rain. Perfect atmosphere for my husband's party.
My stupid, non-poisoned husband.
Why did you come here?
He said he'd give me $10,000.
Why did he pick you?
I don't know. My supervisor just came and said I'd been invited.
I know what she means. My supervisor used to always send me to the basement, and our office didn't have a basement.
I just met him tonight.
So? Why you?
Why not Carrot Top or Senator Ted Stevens or Lawrence Fishburne?
What were you doing wandering around by yourself?
Far more logical.
Well, I was in the cellar with Lance.
She's not fresh at all. Look at her.
She's
I
stale.
just left, that's all.
Don't do it again. Don't go anywhere in this house by yourself.
Not even the...
Not even the can,
Fix
no.
the station. I'll come by for you in a few minutes.
But
John Goodman
You're
problem.
in danger.
Right.
We all are.
But who?
I hope for your sake you never find out.
Now get to work on that face. It's absolutely repulsive.
Ah, Lance has a new target for his test missile.
Ladies.
I'm Annabelle Lauren. Were you looking for something?
Not exactly.
Are you the doctor?
No, I'm Lance Schroeder.
The pilot. You've hurt yourself.
Oh, it's just a bump on the head.
I always injure myself when I'm alone.
Which is my room.
I believe this is it.
Thank you, Mrs. Lauren.
Annabelle, Lance.
Flaps up, engines to full, afterburners on.
Yeah, Lance would chuck her Jaeger any day.
You were with the young girl in the cellar. Why was she so upset?
Was she?
And you don't look like the type to go around bumping his head. What really happened, Lance?
Well, Nora thought she saw a ghost, but I didn't see anything.
She was just frightened then.
And mad at me, I think. I kidded her about it.
Splash some acid on her neck. I was just playing around.
Now, don't tell me you're taking all this seriously.
Aren't you?
Well, I'd like to find out what hit me.
Lance,
May I see your Lance?
if I need help, may I count on you?
Sure, I guess so.
Yeah, she seems like the kind of chick that would trick you into
Look,
eating her
what's going
nail
on here
clippings.
Anyway, I mean, what is with this
You've been
party?
there, haven't you,
Oh,
Kevin?
yeah.
A party. He's planning something.
Your husband?
I wish I knew what it was.
Make it easier to pick an outfit.
He's gonna lay out $50,000.
The money doesn't mean anything. He has a reason for getting us all up here to this dreadful old house.
Well, what for? He doesn't even know us.
Maybe that's exactly why you're here.
Making new friends was his New Year's
What can he
resolution.
get away with?
Oh, he thinks that big money like his can get away with anything. You know, of course, that I'm his fourth wife.
And second hottest.
First simply disappeared. The other two died. Lance, I don't want to join them.
So be a dear and murder my husband.
You mean he,
Oh, his doctor said they died of heart attacks. 2 girls,
John Madden's daughters.
20s.
That explains
it.
Yeah.
My husband is sometimes insane with jealousy. Nothing matters to him then. Please be careful.
Would he hurt you?
Well, he has some photos I'd rather not
Kill
get
me if
out.
he could.
So we won't be getting it on then?
Hey, Hitchcock! Boom, 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 boom.
Good evening. 2,298,
I bet you're
2,299.
missing all the fun. Nora Manning was almost killed by a falling chandelier. The pilot bashed his head in.
Is he badly hurt?
The Saturnine psychiatrist bandaged him up. Don't you want to go and console him, as you do most men?
You consoler. Actually, that's not really a vicious insult, is it?
So I lie awake nights wondering why I married you. It was rather a mistake.
You didn't marry me, dear. I married you. Unpleasant, but no mistake.
You've been married a week and they're sniping
Hurry
like
up.
this already?
Frederick, for the last time, I'm not going to your party.
And for the last time, it's not my party, but yours. And you are going.
If we don't know whose party it is, we don't know who can cry if they want to.
Ready, dear?
No.
Are you ready, dear?
Yes, damn you.
Would you adore me as much if I were poor? No. All you want to be is a lovely widow.
I'd like to keep some of my hair for that.
It's almost time to lock up the house. And then your party will really begin. I wonder how it'll end.
Well, gotta go creep out our guests. See you downstairs.
What can make you move, Chihuahua? What can make you groove, Chihuahua? Who can feel the heat, Chihuahua?
Creepy guy.
It's close to midnight, Lance.
Okay. I'll be down in a minute.
Hideous Mangool.
Your host, my dear. It's almost midnight, Nora. We're all going to get together down in the living room.
All right, Mr. Lloyd. I'll be right down.
It's all she can do to repair that repulsive, unfresh face of hers.
Wow. Never seen less freshness.
Oh, they murdered Charlie McCarthy.
Finally.
I think this woman is well within her rights to send a strongly worded memo to her supervisor.
Well, I'm scared, so I should probably look behind the funeral curtains. That'll make it better.
Okay, is she now looking for things to pop out and frighten her? What, she hasn't been frightened in over 8 seconds and she misses it?
Freshness?
Come with us. Come with us before he kills you.
Us being me and my headlights.
So anyway, that's my favorite brand of rice. What, am I boring you?
Where's Nora? Miss Manning.
Ah, there she is.
Don't want to stay here.
Nora, what happened?
Oh, she just saw the rings on the upstairs toilet.
John Goodman.
Ah, Stick Clark and Joan Rivers without the makeup.
That's Jonas Slides and his wife. They've been caretakers here for years. She's blind, you know.
I'm not going to stay here.
Ah, so you hate blind caretakers, is that it?
Well, Doctor, it looks like we have a real case of hysteria on our hands.
I think she's just a little upset, not hysterical.
I refuse to move my arms, by the way.
I don't like this trend of the less revealing clothes.
No.
Hello, my dear. This is my wife. These are our guests.
And this is your party.
Dr. Trent. You know Watson Pritchard, of course. Nora Manning. And this is Lance Schroeder.
Clumsy, lecherous moron.
Well, if you don't need us, we have a swingers party to get to.
What about the 10,000?
I don't care. He wants to kill me.
Who wants to kill you?
Mr. Lawrence.
Oh, why would he want to kill you at his own party?
It's my wife's
I think
party.
you all remember the bargain we made about staying all night. $10,000 apiece. If any of you don't survive, $50,000 will be divided amongst the rest of you. If I should die...
And before the party, I ate a tray of cold cuts by myself, so it's looking pretty certain.
You will be paid by my estate. When the door is locked from the outside by the caretakers, we'll all be forced to stay in this house until morning. If any of you decide not to stay, you must leave with the caretakers now. You won't have a chance to change your minds later, because there'll be no way to get out.
I don't want to stay.
Wait.
So, locked in a moldering old building with people you don't know, and were you to get to know you'd like even less, he's managed to exactly simulate the experience of jury duty.
Oh, don't worry. The caretakers drink and fight, and about the same time every night, one of their heads slams into our adjoining wall.
Oh, damn it. My sleeping bag was still in the car.
It isn't midnight yet. Who told them they could leave?
They never leave before midnight.
Well, they've gone now.
Probably headed to their night job as Walmart
I was going to ask you
greeters.
whether you wanted to stay or not, but it seems that the caretakers have made the decision for you. We're all locked in now.
But I don't want to stay.
And I'm sorry, my dear, but it's too late now.
Darling, haven't you had enough of the silly game? Get some cars up here for these people and let them go home. But pay them first.
My beloved cadaver. Husband.
This is your party. Remember?
I think we left out a gray area, actually.
In spite of my wife's faith in my ability to do the impossible, we will all have to stay in this house until 8 o'clock in the morning. But we have some party favors for you in these little coffins.
These were the prototypes made for Al Pacino.
My wife's idea. I must say, I think it's rather dangerous. I suppose you all know how to use one of these things, but in case you don't, you just press down on this lever with your thumb and then pull the trigger.
Sorry about your hearing, darling.
See, they're loaded.
Try one, wrinkled woodland elf.
These are no good against the dead, only the living.
Whatever, go set up the categories game.
Doctor?
Jam this somewhere, would you?
Lance?
Try not to shoot your own forehead.
Nora?
Yours smells like lilacs.
Go ahead, take it.
You're gonna need it to use against me.
Miss Bridges?
From Smith & Wesson's old bat line of revolvers.
And here's yours, dear.
I don't need it.
It was your idea. Who knows, you may want to use it on me before this night is over.
Or sit in your underwear and shoot out the TV like Elvis.
Throw these guns away. They won't do you
Always
any
an option.
good.
I agree with Pritchard on that point, although not for the same reason.
Dr. Trent,
How can you be wrong about everything?
don't you approve of our little party favors?
There are favors, though it's my
Suppose Nora
husband's
had had a
party.
gun when she mistook
It's sort
the
of
blind woman
complex.
for a ghost.
I don't think anyone else is going to walk around in total darkness.
Oh, I'm sure we're not going to go running around the house shooting each other, aren't you?
Who knows? Fear makes people do amazing things.
Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel ceiling because of his petrifying fear of El Chupacabra.
Richard,
The goat sucker.
you said
Exactly.
your sister-in-law killed a man and a woman
better
here and
paint.
cut them up. You said they found hands and feet, but they never found any heads. Would you like to see one of those heads? Would you all like to see one of those heads?
Whoa.
Well then, just follow me.
And after we see the rotting head, we can all come back down for some clam dip.
Darling, I really don't need this.
I've got a Kalichnikov in my clutch purse.
It's all right in the box, Colt 45?
It's all right.
Just go look in my suitcase. Just go look.
When I'm done with that, can I dig through your underwear drawer?
It's okay.
Oh, it's Rudy Giuliani's suitcase.
Just 12 times you dress up like a woman.
A woman's head.
Nora, I think you're a little upset. Would you care for a sedative?
Get out! Get out, all of you! All of you, get out of here and leave me alone! Just get out of here!
That's how I am when the Jehovah's Witnesses stop by.
You think it's all right to leave her by herself, Doctor?
I wish she'd taken the sedative.
Well, what do you suppose she thought she saw?
They're closing in on her.
Look, Doc, I think somebody ought to stay with her.
There could be 1 million people around her. But if they wanted her, they'd get her.
All right, I gotta go call the Art Bell show.
But
See ya.
he's right.
He's too drunk to know what he's talking about.
I wonder. I'll join you in a minute.
Hey, babe, you know I got a case of Ensure in my room.
Do you think it would do any good if you went in and talked to her?
Well, do you think there really was a head in her suitcase?
Not a week goes by where I'm not asked that
Like
question.
Put me right over the edge.
Yep, I expect it.
Sort of stay up here, I mean, in case she needs help.
All right. I'll be in my room. Just call it.
Thanks.
Hey, Lance, we were thinking of trying to get a game of Twister going. You in?
Are you sure there are only 7 people in this house?
Positive, except for the ghosts.
I don't believe in ghosts, nor in frightening women.
Other than my mother-in-law.
Nora's case goes
Hi-oh!
far enough. Perhaps too far.
What do you suggest we do about it, Doctor?
Don't frighten her any more.
Or I'll stand near you and talk about things. You wouldn't like that, would you?
And back in ancient Samaria.
There has got to be a way I can sustain a head wound in this room. Hello, is that a doorknob I see?
Nora?
Are Nick and Asta in there with you?
Nora? Nora?
Has this guy ever had a date with a woman before this night? Let her go, man. She doesn't like you.
Yeah, look what she pulled out of her sink.
It's just one of Ozzy Osbourne's spare heads. He's got dozens of them.
Nora! Nora!
I swear you'd lose your head if it weren't connected.
Patty Smith!
You're after me Lucky Charms, aren't you?
What do you know about this?
They've taken her. In a little while, she'll be one of them.
Where's Nora?
May I offer you a knife?
Where is she?
It's too late. It's too late. You'll never find her again.
Pritchard, if you know where she is, you better tell me now.
She's gone. She's gone with them. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Someone just discovered the milk has gone bad.
See? She'd do anything not to go out with him.
Hey, can you get my suction cup, Dart, while you're up there?
Let her down.
Well, wasn't really planning on doing any work while I was here, but all right.
You know, Doc, you don't have to hold her by the breasts.
I have a date! Yes!
Doc, I'm worried about my prostate.
You sharpied a wang on her forehead?
I was busy killing people. Did I miss anything?
She's dead, Mr. Lauren. Your wife hanged herself.
Suicide.
Oh, and I was dicking with your snow globe and I broke it.
With her suicide creating a diversion, Lance goes to retrieve the naughty, shockingly misspelled note he had just slipped under her door.
I want to hold 'em like they do in Texas plays. Fold 'em, let 'em hit me, raise it, baby, stay with me. Russian roulette is not the same without a gun.
Hide me, please, hide me.
What's the matter?
Hide me.
You can hide in my pants if you're in such a big hurry.
He tried to kill me.
Fortunately, he sucked at it.
Grabbed me and choked me and put me in that room. And then he went away and left me.
Who?
He thought I was dead.
Who?
Mr. Lord.
Ah, come on, that's just his way of being friendly.
Sure about this?
I don't know. It was dark, but it must have been him.
It must have been him. Probably won't hold up in court.
I heard some people in that room, but I went by and nobody saw me.
Mrs. Lauren is dead.
She was innocently hanging herself when something went horribly wrong.
Lauren said she committed suicide, but I think somebody killed her.
Him?
And I intend on killing everyone in here until someone confesses.
Can't read my poker face.
Lance Gaga.
Housekeeping and strangulation, ma'am.
Lance wants to bring her along as a human shield, but he just doesn't know how to ask.
Let's see, there's been one attempted murder, one suspicious suicide. I should really have my gun at the ready. Oh, whatever.
I'm sure you've come to the same conclusion I have.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, let's all have a meeting, discuss what to do. The living room?
Okay, in a minute.
How the hell does the doctor know that Lance came to the same conclusion as him? I mean, what if his conclusion was that they should all dress up as longshoremen and sing Annie, Get Your Gun?
Yes, consider him your 24-hour harassment service.
I've got to go downstairs. Now, you lock yourself in here and don't let anybody know you're here. If he thinks you're dead, he won't come here. And I'll get back as soon as I can. You'll be all right.
Or my name isn't Lance Servius Zachariah Schroeder III.
And if you have to, you use it.
Your Snuggie, I mean. Staying warm is important, and blankets are just so damn difficult.
Who loves you, baby? That'll be cool in 30 years, trust me.
Vincent feels the vague, nagging fear that someone may be eyeing his lemon drink.
This is how nonchalant I try to act whenever I'm about to steal room service leftovers from the hotel room across the hall from me.
Never works for you, Bill.
No.
Haven't seen this much sneaking between rooms since I chaperoned a high school youth group.
So beautiful.
So dead.
So greedy.
So dead.
So cold.
So dead. Starting to stink, in fact.
What are you doing in here?
Wait. Don't we?
What do you mean coming in here?
We need money to pay the pizza guy. Jeez.
They will if you don't watch her.
You're drunk. All right, out with it, Bridget. Why did you come into this room?
I'm the only one who understands.
Understands what?
What the hell's going on? I'm lost.
Robb White isn't there anymore. She's already joined them.
Bridget, I've had enough of your spook talk. Get out, you sot, and don't come back into this room again.
So every room is identical, and he's drunk. Odds are he'll be back.
My darling dead wife. Well, better get to work on the breakfast menu.
Yes, I'm drunk and half strangled. Thank you very much.
Well, should we do some karaoke?
Where's what's-her-name?
Lance?
Nora.
I didn't disturb her since I don't think this concerns her.
No, you're right.
On to item 1, Nora.
Mr. Lawrence, isn't there some way we can get out of this house now?
No, none at all.
We could try breaking out.
The only door to the outside is made of steel. The bars of the windows are set in solid stone. We gotta stay.
Unless any of you is the Kool-Aid man.
I'm not afraid of your ghosts, Pritchard.
The Ghostbusters' first, less catchy slogan.
I am afraid.
A little specific to one client.
Right.
When we came here a few hours ago, the only thing we had in common was the $10,000 we'd get. Now, however, we share something else.
You're all about to have seen me naked.
So far tonight, one of us was almost killed by a falling chandelier. One of us was mysteriously slugged. One of us has been driven to the brink of absolute hysteria.
Yeah, that's me.
And one of us is dead. Were these accidents? Suicide? And we must stay here
Boromir's
6
horn
more
in the
hours.
foreground there.
6 of us. Time enough.
Who'll be next?
I will.
How
Oh,
will
wait.
it happen?
Let me ask you a question, Doctor. You were the first one to see my wife there. Did you also see anything that she could have climbed up on and then jumped?
No.
Did any of you?
Jumped from or off of, I think you mean.
Yes.
There was nothing. How then did she get up there so high?
Exactly, Mr. Loren. How?
So high.
She couldn't have pulled herself up there. She couldn't have dropped from the ceiling. Do you think your wife killed herself?
No. She was murdered
And I think I killed
by
her.
one of you.
Or 2. Possibly 4 of you.
Or you, Mr. Loren. To deliberately kill someone, you must have a reason.
We were all strangers to your wife. Only you had a motive for murder.
It's true, she kept trying to take my credit for the party.
I wanted to kill his wife. What husband hasn't had 1,000 opportunities to do it in such a way so that he'd never be suspected? I'm not
He
such
should
a
reconsider
fool to
that
hang
as the
my
lead
wife
into
from
his
the
stand-up
ceiling
routine.
by a rope.
The fact remains that you, or one of us, murdered Mrs. Loren. And that's a matter for the police.
So how do we get the police?
That's my point. We can't until morning.
The police are
What began
closed.
as a silly party given by an eccentric has now involved us all in murder.
For once, Pritchard may be right. If another murder's in the works, let's
Hey.
stop it now.
Why the burn on
Another
Pritchard?
murder.
Why not? Maybe one of us saw too much.
What's that? Took a little trip to Flavor Country.
Why should even a millionaire want to give each of us $10,000 to spend one night in a gloomy old house? To see some ghosts, have a party? No.
Party.
Have you finished trying me, Doctor? And is the verdict guilty of murder?
Oh, this isn't getting us anywhere. Somebody killed Mrs. Loren. We know that. One of us is guilty and the rest of us are innocent. Okay. Now, what we have to do for the next 6 hours is protect ourselves from each other.
Dude, ease up on the
Really?
passive aggression.
I don't think anything. I just know that I'm going to my room. And if anybody comes in, I'll shoot him.
Then I'll ask him some questions later, time
And
permitting,
if we all
of
stay
course.
in our rooms, we'll be safe. Because the innocent will have no reason to leave his room. And the guilty will admit his guilt if he or she does.
And we all have guns.
And we're all agreed?
Oh, I wish this night were over.
I like his plan of going to separate rooms to keep an eye on each other.
Guns? I tell you, it doesn't make any difference. They aren't through with us yet.
So, who wants to hit the sauna?
Stop looking at my butt.
Yep, I'll just be in my room, not nuzzling the underwear I didn't steal from Nora.
What's the use of saying goodnight?
Because even though we're doomed, it doesn't mean we can't have manners.
Good night.
His Doc is all over her.
Guys want to catch Conan before we turn in?
Good night, Doctor.
And remember, all your pay-per-view charges come out of your 10 Gs.
Aww.
But it doesn't keep track of what you've watched. It just says movie on the bill.
Say.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling sorry for him. He's got so many cutting insults he'll never get to say to his beloved murderous harpy wife.
Ow, ow, thighs lacerated, bleeding profusely.
He's daydreaming of the time his colleagues nominated him dullest working psychiatrist in the entire Western Hemisphere.
Those were days. Yes, must make speeches longer and more pointless. But how?
Drag on. Kitten? Is that you?
The physics of doorknobs confuses and frightens my scientific mind.
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, I've always had that problem. I don't know what it is.
Film students take note: how to add a minute to your movie without advancing the plot in any way.
Okay, technically this dame's in the movie, but in the same sense that the Cloverfield monster was in Cloverfield.
Strong resemblance, though.
These are situations where Willy Wonka's lickable wallpapers would really help pass the time.
Now, what does snozberries taste like again?
Snozberries?
Of course.
Nah, she can't be sure that's blood until she's tasted it. No, taste it first, then you freak out will be warranted. Taste it.
Okay, and no, this is nuts. It's just crazy for me to even suggest it, but he wouldn't be headed for Nora's room, would he?
She's too unfresh.
It's me, Lance.
I notice she's not frantically lunging for her gun.
You okay? They've all gone to their rooms and locked themselves in.
Lance, I've been thinking. It was so dark down there. Maybe it wasn't Mr. Lorne.
It was him, all right. He tried to kill you, and he did kill his wife.
That damn neighbor must be counting things again.
She tried to warn me, asked me to help her. The doc thinks he's going to try and kill one of us.
Two murder victims.
I'm going to find it and get the police before he does.
I'm going with you.
What if he finds out you're alive? No, Nora. You're safer here than any place else. Now just lock yourself in and keep quiet.
I didn't think they could top the drama of the first Lance leaves Nora alone in a room scene, but wow, they pulled it off.
I'll come back and get you.
Plus the cab driver doesn't want to wait, you know.
I give him 10 minutes tops before he manages to hang himself on a drapery cord.
Pales himself on a fireplace poker. Looks like our luck has changed. He stumbled onto the set of Caged Heat.
He found the panic room. Oh no, it's a panic room loaded with memorabilia from the movie Panic Room.
And just like that, he fails.
Meanwhile, in ancient Assyria...
Okay, let's see. Supposed to lock the doors. No. Open the doors. No, wait. Go around the doors. Varnish the doors. That's it. Supposed to varnish the doors.
Lance fell down and got his forehead stuck in the fuse box.
It's hard to do. Wow, that's obscene. Ugh.
I guess you can push a rope uphill.
Just stand there and let it happen. That's a good idea. See, this is kind of what you get when you name your home the House on Haunted Hill. It's like an invitation for this kind of crap.
Hi, could you throw me a light wrap or something? It's a little cold out here.
Tell you right now, she could forget her afterlife career as a rodeo star. Seems like Nora should be pretty easy to take down.
In no circumstances should you move. Well, yes, I'm afraid.
I repeat, yes. Yes.
Sorry to scare you. I'll just be here if you need me. It's more comfortable this way.
All right! I didn't know there'd be orangutans in this movie.
Oh, it's great.
Sweet!
Oh, yeah, right. Lance is locked in a broom closet right now.
Or maybe he somehow got himself wedged in the chimney.
Possible.
Knocked himself out with a brick.
Swallowed a candle. Okay, how long does it take this woman to look around a room? Hell, Stevie Wonder could have looked around the room faster than her.
Maybe that's what Lance meant earlier when he invited her to check out his organ. Wow, thank you very much. Charge!
And again, enjoy this shot from earlier in the film.
Well, having access to a corpse is not as much fun as those weekend at Bernie's guys might have you believe.
Dull guy.
Analyze this.
An admission of guilt, Doctor?
Certainly not. There's either somebody else in this house or one of us has left his room. Did you hear anything?
Well, I heard a few people say, "Please don't murder me."
Organ music?
That, and someone walking.
I suspect it was Mark Cohn.
No, wait, this isn't Memphis. Couldn't have been him.
You look downstairs, and I'll look up here.
Why not together?
There may be only minutes, seconds left of someone's life. Why waste time?
The Senate calls that the Robert Byrd policy.
Oh, and if you do run across a nearly talking dog and some meddling kids, shoot to kill.
Wait a minute. Why wreck my own toilet? I'm going to give his thunder bucket a workout.
John Goodman's in there.
If it turns out that he is a killer, it still won't make him one iota more exciting than he is now.
Look, if you wanted to sleep in that bed, all you had to do was ask your host.
It's almost over, darling.
I'm dead right now.
Every detail was perfect.
Except that part about me being involved. That was a strategic error.
Yes, pushing the rope through the bars and hovering outside the window was hard, but other than that...
What's happening?
I swear you wait around for an opportunity to do that, don't you?
Has she killed him?
Not yet, but she will.
Then it will be the even more perfecter crime.
Get me out of this hanging harness.
By the way, thanks for inventing the hanging harness.
What's taking that girl so long? What time is it?
At first, I couldn't get Nora to want to protect herself with a gun. After you appeared at the window, everything began to work just as we had planned. You were wonderful. Just the touch that finally drove her into complete hysteria.
While she's in complete hysteria, she should really consider trying out for The Price is Right.
Where's Nora now? What's happening?
Oh, God in heaven, Bill. Stop.
Well, it served it up.
David, are you sure none of them will suspect us?
Of what? An hysterical girl accidentally shoots somebody? Who would suspect that we planned it that way, that we drove her to it?
What about my suicide?
But just a ghost party gag. We'll claim it was a dummy since I'm the only one who touched you.
And the caretaker?
Nah, they're old. Nobody believes
We had no
old
idea what they
people.
were really doing.
What about Nora? She's not stupid, you know.
Darling, believe me, everything we planned is working perfectly. Nora is sure Frederick murdered you. She thinks Frederick attacked her in the cellar, not me. And now Nora's almost out of her mind with fear. The heads, the music, you're hanging. I tell you, when Frederick walks in there...
There's something like 48 loose ends, but I'm sure they'll all just work out all right in the end.
That's got to be about as exciting as kissing a dry erase board.
When you hear the shot, come down to the cellar.
Meet me by the pickled beets.
Stop it. There was no cause for
It
that.
looked like she was about to say what's happening.
No cause.
Got ahead of myself.
For dark, rickety basement stairs, high heel shoes work best.
Not a bit fresher than the last time we saw her.
Stale. Now, going down to the basement with a gun, quaking in fear, being the mother of a D&D playing son, it's a feeling she's quite used to.
Where should we put the bumper pool table?
Just give her 10 more minutes. She'll have this room completely looked at.
Oh, forgot. There were fewer badly lit basements in the IMAX movie Badly Lit Basements.
Yes, and going into any basement brings the twin dangers of radon gas and being shot in an orgy of insane girlish panic.
That's for your part in Thriller. Do you have any idea how much damage you did to our culture?
Nora would go on to murder the entire staff at a haunted hayride.
Hi, just wanted to make sure the excitement level didn't get too high here. All right, good.
Carry on.
If you're going to start using that acid bath a lot, you might want to install a clapper for the door.
Yes, now to celebrate the perfect crime in true supervillain style by swirling a large snifter of cognac with a fine cigar and laughing about how we got away with the perfect crime.
I can use this acid to dissolve the body and to wash my denim jeans so they'll be all ready for the 80s. Perfect crime just got fashionable.
Dum-de-dum, just looking like Hayden Panettiere. Da-da-da-da-da. Just bearing more than a slight resemblance to Hayden Panettiere.
Very aware of it, isn't she?
Gosh, she's nude!
Yes. Well, she might as well bait the rat traps with fresh peanut butter as long as she's down there, nude and looking like Hayden Panettiere.
David? David?
And she could put some 3-in-1 on door hinges, too.
Nude and looking like
Nude.
Hayden
Panettiere.
Meanwhile, our friend Lance is in the janitor's closet, having managed to snag himself on a coat hook and spill a half-gallon of scouring powder down the inside of his shirt. That's our Lance.
Sat on a toilet brush as well.
She scans a room at downright Nora-esque speed.
Well, everything seems to be in order, or would to someone who actually lived there.
She always likes to check the vat of acid at other people's houses where she doesn't live before turning in for the night.
See, if you don't fence off your acid pool, there's the danger that every so often one of the merry pranksters is going to wander into it.
Iggy Pop!
No, he's a little beefier than Iggy Pop.
It's true.
I'm a real wild child.
Help! Throw me some xylophone mallets so I can comically play his ribs.
Hi, hey, you haven't seen my pancreas around anywhere, have you?
Maybe a set of lungs, about 20 feet of intestines, no?
No, keep your distal, middle, and proximal phalanges off me!
Everything I have, even my life.
Though you can keep my copy of Chinese Democracy.
Enjoy. Come with me, murderess. Come with me.
So pathetic when a skeleton commands you to do something because they've got nothing to back it up with. It's like being told what to do by a mall cop.
So to reiterate...
Hey, remember when I said I wanted to bone you? I was just setting up this joke. Elaborate, but really worth it.
Before you dissolve, you think you could get my swim mask unstuck from the drain?
You know what would be great? Have this music queued up really loud and play it every time your mother-in-law walked into the room. And then lay off it for a while, let things cool down a bit, and then when your wife is once again talking to you and she suggests that you get marriage counseling, bam, there it is again.
You've done that.
Yes, way too much.
Oh, I bet that wasn't hard for him to pull off. Honey, why are you making a skeleton marionette? Come to bed. Just another minute, dear. I really have to finish my skeleton marionette for, the skeleton marionette competition. Or do you not want me to do good at the skeleton marionette competition? That's it, isn't it? You resent my skeleton marionette hobby. I ought to kill you.
Good night, Doctor.
Good
Good night, Annabelle. The crime you two planned was indeed perfect. Only the victim is alive and the murderers are not.
And I have a really fun new puppet friend.
You started your game of murder.
Murder.
That I was playing too.
But don't ever ask me to play Pictionary with you two again. A dog, 2 ears, a tail, whisk. What the hell did you think I was drawing?
There must be some way to get in here.
It's right along here, somewhere.
Lance! I've shot Mr. Loren. He's down in the wine cellar.
Alive?
I don't think so.
All right, you guys go down there. I'm gonna go snag my foot on the rug and knock myself unconscious.
It's him. He's alive.
Does my murder still count? I want a teardrop facial tattoo.
You didn't shoot anyone, my dear. I loaded your gun with blanks.
Sound familiar, Lance?
Hey.
I can tell you all now. Trent and my wife were planning to kill me. They failed.
As do all people named Trent.
Trent tried to throw me in the vat. My wife stumbled and fell.
She dropped her stack of banana cream pies.
I'm ready for justice to decide if I'm innocent or guilty.
In the meantime, I'll be emptying the cash from my mattress and fleeing to Mexico if you need me. Not an admission of guilt. Oh, and there's an uneaten roast beef in the downstairs fridge.
Grope.
Now there are 9. There'll be more, many more.
I assume he means lonely dinners of cold Vienna sausages while reading a stack of model plane builder magazines.
Of course.
Yes.
And then they'll come for you.
Wait, sorry, they're coming for the person sitting to your left. Or is that my left? Stage left? Well, I don't know. The point is someone you care about is doomed. That's my point.
Thank you.
And that'll do it for us today. And remember, if an insane, reclusive millionaire offers you $10,000 to spend a night in a haunted house, don't do it!
Unless it's a Nigerian prince who posted the ad on Craigslist.
Then by all means, go for it.
Prince Kamar is finally going to tell me where the house is once my most recent check clears.
Sure, Bill. We'll see you here next time at rifftracks.com.